drift away. And I don't care how high you are. You're full of confidence and cheap color. You're showing off your moves and hope for attention. And I you turn my life into an invitation. I don't know.
Ben je een beetje blij, ouwe? Vet shit.
Ja,
Dit is wel heel vet.
het wordt lastig om het hier 4 dagen uit te houden.
Ja, heel lastig. Ik ben helemaal niet blij, ik wil terug naar huis. Ha! Ik denk het niet. Leuk, 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 leuk. Gaan we te boven? Ja jongens, dit is wel heel vet. Leuk schip. Gaan we het wel een paar dagen uithouden. 3 dagen. Nee, 4 dagen. 3 nachten. Hier is het water dus al heel erg gestegen. Allemaal schepen, jezus. Man, helemaal wat gaaf hier ook. Normaal. Nou, we zijn bij de sluis aangekomen. En het is ongeveer 5:45 ochtends. Ik heb speciaal de wekker gezet. Om het even te zien. Dat is wel heel interessant. De voorkant is de achterkant. De voorkant heb je dus sluizen. Die zal ik even laten zien, daar. De poort is net dicht gegaan, de sluis. De boten liggen te wachten. Dan mogen we straks heen. En dan gaan we van boord. Yes, cool. Later.
From the groundbreaking to the completion of the world's largest ship locks, this film chronicles the progress and price for the world's biggest and most controversial dam. This is the story of the Three Gorges Project, China's mega dam. In August 1998, China was devastated by the worst floods in 44 years. Over 3,000 Chinese lost their lives, and more than 2 million were displaced. The same number driven from New Orleans by Hurricane Katrina. 2 million troops were rushed in to fight the Yangtze's rising waters. The world's fastest and most dangerous river was living up to its reputation. Throughout that month, soldiers and farmers fought in vain as one by one the dikes collapsed and lives were lost. An area the length of Colorado was flooded. The human cost was enormous. At their height, the floods affected nearly 300 million people. That's equal to the population of the United States. The people of the Yangtze suffer disastrous floods, on average every 10 years. In the last century alone, floods have killed over 300,000 people. From the days of the emperors to the communists of today, China's leaders have dreamt of stopping these disastrous floods. They now think they have a solution: to complete the building of the world's biggest dam and tame one of the world's most dangerous rivers. Started in 1994, this is the world's largest construction project ever. 40,000 people have worked day and night to make this dam happen. The dam will cost $25 billion. But this staggering figure is still $1 billion less than the cost of the August '98 floods. When completed, the dam will be 1.4 miles long and 607 feet high. That's just as long and more than twice as high as the Golden Gate Bridge. It is one of the few man-made objects that can be seen clearly from space. In order for the dam to succeed, enormous hurdles have to be overcome, and potentially devastating consequences must be faced. No nation has ever built a dam so big.
The Three Gorges project is just hyperbole about everything. It's the biggest dam, it's the most expensive dam, the symbol of man's ability to control nature. So it's kind of the biggest of everything.
But size is a challenge Chinese engineers overcame with skills and ingenuity. Their biggest battle is against nature. The dam is being built in the middle of an earthquake zone. If the dam were to collapse, it would be an economic and humanitarian disaster on a scale never seen before. But China is pushing the limits of 21st century technology to accomplish this incredible feat. If they are successful, the rewards for China's economy will be endless. Positioned on the Yangtze 1,200 miles upstream from the great port city of Shanghai, the dam will act as a plug. It will control the river where it narrows through a series of canyons called the Three Gorges. The first general manager of this massive project is one of the world's most brilliant and respected engineers, Mr. Liu Yumei.
In order to stop the floods in the lower Yangtze, we need to contain the water during high water periods in a man-made reservoir created by blocking the river with the Three Gorges Dam. We can then release the water from the reservoir in a controlled fashion to prevent flooding. This is the main reason we're building the dam, to prevent flooding.
The dam is being built on a river that's been the lifeline of China for the last 5,000 years. The Yangtze, or Long River, begins its journey in the high plateaus of Tibet. Born from ancient glaciers, it plunges over 21,000 feet before cascading into the tributaries of the Yangtze Valley and making its way to the sea. Nearly 4,000 miles long, it ranks third after the Nile and the Amazon. But what made the Yangtze legendary was the beauty of the three gorges. The Wu Gorge, the Chutang Gorge, and the Xiling Gorge were all formed by a movement in the Earth's crust over 40 million years ago. For most of the world, the Three Gorges is known as one of China's biggest tourist attractions. Today, they remain a natural wonder that may not survive the building of the world's biggest dam. The dam will cause the waters to rise over 400 feet throughout the gorge, altering their beauty forever. When construction is complete in 2009, it will supply 1/10 of the electricity for China's 1.3 billion people. But how does a dam work? Daniel Beard is one of the world's leading experts on water technology and large dams.
We build dams across the river, and what that does is impound water behind the wall or the structure that's built, and then water is diverted either through the dam or around the dam through turbines to generate electric power. The fascinating thing about large dams is that they take on a life of their own. They become symbols of a country's arrival as a first world nation or a developed nation. They become symbols of what is owed a people or a community. They become symbols of people's use of technology.
But how do you go about building the world's biggest dam? The first step is to create a dry bed for the dam's foundation. To do this, workers built a new channel around the site that diverted part of the river's flow. This diversion channel carried the entire flow of the Yangtze and accommodated all the river traffic over the first 6 years of the dam's construction. In order to build the diversion channel, the workers blasted through solid rock. For the dam workers, this is one of the most dangerous jobs on the site. Detonators are made by taping sticks of dynamite to a fuse. The dynamite and the fuses are strapped to long sticks of bamboo before being shoved into pre-drilled holes. More dynamite caps are placed in the hole before the explosion is triggered. A warning siren indicates workers must retreat from the blast site. In the first year of construction alone, workers detonated more than 80,000 sticks of dynamite, a blast force equivalent to 20 Hiroshima atomic bombs. The fallout from these explosions fills the air. Every day, 15 tons of dust smothers the site. The rubble from the blast site is used to build 2 temporary barriers known as cofferdams. Water is then pumped out between the 2 dams, leaving a dry bed on which to build the foundations of the dam's main wall. This is one of the most dangerous phases of the whole construction process. Until their cement core is built, the cofferdams are made of rubble which is simply dumped into the river. At this stage, they are extremely unstable. Dump trucks worked in an endless rotation to lengthen these temporary walls. Soil removed from the riverbed loosely binds the rocks. Then pumps inject bentonite, a liquid clay and cement mixture, into a trench in the middle of the cofferdam. The bentonite takes a few days to dry out. Eventually it hardens into a substance strong enough to form a backbone, which will hopefully prevent the cofferdam's collapse. When the liquid sets, it will remain flexible enough to prevent the structure from cracking under pressure. When the cofferdams are completed and made safe, the water trapped between them is pumped out. The riverbed will then be dry and work can start on the dam's central section. The workers have to race against time and the weather to shore up the cofferdams and make them secure. The scale of this giant undertaking is formidable. If a flash flood were to occur at this stage, the cofferdam would collapse and send a huge tidal wave down the Yangtze, overwhelming everything in its path. China continued to test the limits of engineering as the main dam wall began to take shape in 1997. Dozens of giant cranes took over the work of pouring concrete. 350 buckets of cement, each weighing 20 tons, are lifted into the main dam wall.